Welcome back, folks. I'm Jake Ellenbogen. Today, we're going to be talking about Joseph Noteboom, the sixth man of the offensive line, a guy that can play guard and he can play tackle, 4 out of the 5 positions. Very valuable. And while he did start off as a little bit, you would say, overpaid, he has really turned himself into a key contributor and important player on this roster in 2024. We'll dive into everything that he brings to the table, what he's done over his, body of work and all of that. But I just want to let you guys know that we have a sponsor for today's video, and that sponsor is none other than Viia. Viia, I am thrilled to work with. I'm just going to be honest with you. Viia has premium hemp products that are farmed and crafted with care in the U.S. They are trusted by over 500,000 customers. They have a product for everyone. The wide range of gummies, covering all sorts of effects and strength ranges, all lab tested and certified, sourced from the finest hemp for your peace of mind. Their products range from 0 milligrams to 100 milligrams of THC. And if THC isn't for you, you could take advantage of their CBD gummies with the product designed for sleep, focus, and energy. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I never tried THC before they sent me some. And I'll be honest with you, really was only expecting to just try the CBD products, but I've really enjoyed every product that I've tested. The reason being is, you can microdose THC, you can use the CBD. I personally love the Cloud9 Relief Gummy. It was great. It helped me sleep. So, I've obviously had issues with that over the past, however long, and things have worked and, you get into a good rhythm, but it's not always the easiest. So it was really nice to be able to take that and feel good. They have sleep gummies as well, like I mentioned. So if any of that interests you, and of course you're 21 years or older of age, you can check out the link in my description for Viia. Use the promo code JKBogan, just like my handle on all my social media, JKBogan, to receive 15% off your purchase. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them or, how you found out about them. Please support the show and let them know that I sent you. Spice up your summer and embrace the natural power of hemp with Viia today. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, guys. So, Joseph Noteboom. This is somebody who, first off, I interviewed back in Mobile, Alabama, Reese's Senior Bowl 2018, my first ever Senior Bowl. So I interviewed him early on in the process. I got a chance to talk with him. Really liked him coming out of TCU. Good dude. But more importantly, I liked the fact that, when you're on the field, I mean, what can you add to my team? And with Joseph Noteboom coming out of TCU, he had that flexibility. He could play tackle. He could play guard. A lot of draft scouts had him as just a guard, though. I actually liked him at tackle, but I liked his flexibility to play guard. And I'm sure the Rams did as well. It's why they took him 89th overall in the 2018 class. And mind you, that was the first pick they made in that draft class because they did not pick until the 3rd round. Guy that stands at 6'5", a little over 320. Really good athlete. I mean, really good athlete. Ran just under a 5.40 time, which is great for that size and, of course, the position. He's 29, just turned 29, June 19th. So, that's pretty good. I mean, this is his last year at the Rams in all likelihood. But we're talking about 2024 and what he can bring to the table. In order to do that, we have to get started. And first, let's be honest here. He's been around since 2018. Things haven't gone the way you'd want them to. But Joseph Noteboom in his career, 2023. So he had 4 starts at right tackle, and he had 2 starts at left tackle. He started the left tackle first game of the year at left tackle against Indy. He started week 17, when I was at that game, we found out like right before the game, just like everybody else, Alec Jackson wasn't going to suit up. So that was kind of surprising. That was considered his best game of the year, did not allow a sack, a pressure, or anything. And I think ultimately when you want to go back and, you know, look at any games that might have won the Rams over as far as keeping him and not outright trading him away or cutting him, to me that Giants game stands out. 39 pass blocking reps, and he did not give up a single pressure, nothing. So I thought that was a really good day at the office for Noteboom. Does not get talked about nearly enough, almost wiped under the rug. But let's not forget that week 17 game came down to the wire. I'll never forget that. And let's also not forget that while that, you know, week 17 game came down to the wire, it wasn't just a game against the Giants that, you know, they should win. It was a game they had to win, because if they didn't win that game, they might not have made the playoffs. So with that said, Joseph Noteboom, excellent effort in week 17. Doesn't get talked about enough, but shouldn't go unnoticed. Now, we talked about his athleticism, and this is somebody who I think has done a really nice job in the run game. Again, that athleticism, he can get out and work as a convoy, but pass protection has always been a little bit of a worry, which is why that week 17 game was great. And normally you see guys at the end of the season, when they're playing at that level, they can carry that into next year. Well, Noteboom doesn't have to worry about having to carry that into next year because he's not starting, okay? He's likely going to back up these guys, and he could play Johnny on the spot, whether a left tackle goes down or a left guard or a right guard or right tackle. Who knows, maybe even center. I wouldn't rule it out with him. So 2023, while he didn't get a ton of opportunities to play, right? Because, I mean, he played in week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, didn't play until week 8, then 9, then didn't play to 14, 15, and 17. So, again, like, not a ton of, you know, games there, a little bit over half, maybe close to half. So, let's talk about him, right? 2023, he gives up 4 sacks in 2023. He had a very miserable game against the Bengals where he was literally given a 0 pass blocking grade, according to PFF. But 2023, 4 sacks given up, 28 pressures. That is a lot, okay? If we're going to be honest here, and we've got to be honest, that's a lot. And a lot of that came in the Cincinnati game, giving up 6 pressures, which was tied for a season high. He also gave up 6 against Baltimore, who's one of the best defenses in football. So, with that said, Joseph Noteboom didn't have the best year, okay? No one is saying that he did. But having a borderline starter level ready player, you know, and you have him Johnny on the spot, you're in a good position, because I can tell you right now, he may not be your favorite player. You may not love how much he's being paid, but Joseph Noteboom at the end of the day is somebody that the Rams have that not a lot of teams have in the league. Not a lot of teams have tackles that they trust. They don't, let alone an entire offensive line, 5 guys you feel great about, and then you have a guy who has starting experience, not just in regular season. No, we're talking about the postseason as well with Joseph Noteboom. So, good thing to have there. Can't complain about that. His 2022 season was abruptly cut short. Injuries, of course, 5 sacks, 23 pressures. You go back to 2021, he only played 85 snaps, gave up a sack, 3 pressures. Then, of course, he played 376, which was a career high back in 2020. He had 2 sacks given up and 21 pressures. Now, again, a little different here. Noteboom now is playing multiple positions. Then he was really just counted on to be the left tackle, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to. So that's what I'll say there. Although Noteboom in 2020 wasn't the left tackle, we already know that, but still. So what do you take away from Joseph Noteboom in 2024? I mean, should you feel good about him? I think so. I think you should feel really good about him. He is not the best tackle in the league, and he's not the best guard in the league. But the fact that he can play 4 out of the 5 positions, the drop of a hat, and you look at Alec Jackson, who has missed games. We talk about week 17. That was an abrupt, missed the game. Obviously, I think it was due to personal reasons, but even still, I mean, that could have been a disaster. And Noteboom made him, he looked really good. And so Alaric has had issues with injuries. He had a blood clot that cost him his entire 2022 season. Then you have Jonah Jackson, who has had a hard time staying healthy. Steve Avila played all of the games last year, so we're not really worried about him. But to be fair, I mean, anybody can get hurt. Kevin Dotson, not really worried about him. But again, anyone can get hurt. And same thing with Rob Havenstein. So the fact that Noteboom, the drop of a hat, can slide in at left tackle, slide in at left guard, slide in at right guard, slide in at right tackle, and he knows, he has experience, and he knows this offense well, that is a luxury that the cap doesn't allow you to really have. So the Rams are paying him a decent amount. He took a pay cut to stay with this team, to keep in mind. Just let's be fair here. But he is getting paid a decent amount of money. And there is a luxury to that. And you know what I'll say? If there's going to be a luxury to anything, put the luxury into the offensive line. Because to me, that's not a luxury. At the end of the day, offensive line is everything. It decides whether or not you're going to be a team to, a force to be reckoned with, or you're going to fall flat on your face. You could have the best defense in the world. You could have the best quarterback, the best wide receivers, all of that. But if your offensive line can't protect your all-pro quarterback, no one gives a rip, which also will trickle down onto the defense. We've seen that. We saw the injuries, 16 different offensive line combinations in 2022. So, again, I understand. Not everybody is a big fan of Joseph Noteboom, but he is key and critical, as Sean McVay would put it, key and critical for the Rams to be able to go the distance and win another Super Bowl. Okay? And as far as 2025, 2026 goes, who knows? This could be his last year. But we're talking about 2024 now. We talked about the starting 5 offensive linemen, feel great about them. And guess what? I feel great about Joseph Noteboom as a backup. And I think you should too. So those are my thoughts. I don't really see him being utilized a ton this year because I'm not trying to predict 5 injuries on the offensive line. I will say this. In some capacity, he is going to play. Whether it's filling in for Alaric Jackson missing a game, maybe it's filling in for Alaric Jackson if he has to sit week 18 of the season. Hopefully that's the one that he's filling in for. But also, Jonah Jackson, he's missed games. Let's just be real with ourselves here. If he misses like 2 to 4 games, Noteboom is your left guard. You don't have to worry about that. Like, is he the best left guard in the world? No. But you have to think about who would come after Noteboom. To have a guy with that much, again, that much experience, this much knowledge with the offense, trusted by his coaching staff, to have a guy like that who already has experience playing alongside a lot of these guys, you're not going to find that around the league very often. It's not to say it doesn't exist, but to have him, he is a X factor who might not see the field until week 11. But when he does see the field, you bet your ass you are going to be very happy that he's seeing the field and he's there instead of somebody else. Because we've seen offensive line issues cripple everything. And a guy like this being in the way of those issues, being able to plug up a hole, can do wonders. So, in conclusion, Joseph Noteboom might be in his last year with the Rams, but let's make it a good one. And I think that this is going to be a good year. Like I've said, I have the Rams going to the Super Bowl. I think Joseph Noteboom is a big reason why the Rams offensive line feels stronger than it's ever been. So it might not actually be stronger than it's ever been. It doesn't have an Andrew Whitworth. But at the same time, I don't remember many offensive lines that had a 6th man like Joseph Noteboom. I don't remember many offensive lines that had the depth that they did. They have some fun pieces. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about KT Leviston. We're going to talk about Bo Limmer. We're going to talk about Warren McClendon. I really like what the Rams have in store. And it's why the offensive line gets me so giddy, because the Rams have a good one, whether you realize it or not. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Once again, special shout out to Viia. Love their products. And again, just not something I expected to like. The CBD, of course, yes, but I was not expected to like the THC products. But I mean, hey, you give something a try and you never know. So again, shout out to them. They are great. Go and check them out. Link in the description below. Promo code JKBogan. I'm out. I will see you guys soon. Later, folks. Do you love talking about the Rams, the NFL, or just want to be a part of a community? Join my free Discord server today. We're over 800 members. We got 24/7 live chat, a level 3 boosted server, the ability to call into JE Live, playing online games with us on Kick streams, toggleable alerts for when I go live on YouTube or Kick so you don't miss a live stream, and exclusive giveaways. Click the link in the description, the comments section, or the link that comes up in the video to learn more and join today.